would come after me, in other words, follow me, he must deny himself and take up his cross and follow me. And so anyone, well, anyone is anyone, right? That's you, me, anyone. To follow Jesus, we have to deny ourselves, take up our cross, and follow. What does that mean? Take up your cross and follow. It's not a physical cross that we're going to carry, but it's a symbolic cross. It means an abandoning of the self, of selfish goals, selfish desires, self-will, pride. It's taking our cross daily. One of the gospel writers, I believe it's Luke, says, take up your cross daily and follow me. So it's a daily laying down of the self. And believe me, as we all know, it is a daily thing. A daily crucifying of the flesh and saying, Lord, where are you leading me to today? What would you have me do today? And making that our focus and our priority. Of course, we have other things we have to take care of and do, but the overall riding thing is that we follow Jesus daily. And we make God and others our focus. So just as Jesus lived to minister to others, then we live to minister to others. Just as Jesus gave himself for us to be true disciples, we are to give ourselves for others. Deny ourselves, as he says, or take up your cross. It's an image of sacrifice, of the giving of your life on others' behalf. And when we do this, an amazing thing happens. As we begin to become a true disciple and care about others and walk in love and make God's plans our focus, we will find a greater joy and a greater fulfillment in life than we ever have known. We will find a greater peace, and that can happen daily. Have you ever observed how extremely selfish people who complain continually and are selfish and it's all about me are also the most miserable people? I mean, they really are miserable. They're not happy. And Jesus really said, you know, if you seek to gain the self first, you'll lose it. You'll be unhappy. You'll be miserable. But those that live for others have a joy about them. They are a pleasure to know. Those who continually think of others and minister to others, they have a liveliness to their step. Because really, as Jesus said, as you lose yourself, you gain yourself. God is then free to bless us, to look after us, to take care of us. I mean, some people say, won't I just be a doormat then? No, you won't, because God will then step in to watch out over you and lead you beside green pastures and still waters. So whenever we try hard to hang on to something, whatever we try to hang on to, Jesus is saying, you're going to lose it. It's when you let go that you'll gain everything. And he says, whoever wants to save his life will lose it. But whoever loses his life for me will find it. So it's that kind of paradoxical statement. You'll find it. It's an ironic thing that as we lose sight of ourselves and our selfish desires and seek God's will, we'll actually gain more meaning in our lives. As we seek to become more Christ-like and to become disciples of Jesus, our true selves will begin to blossom and grow. There'll be more joy, depth, the fruit of the Spirit in our lives. And we'll experience a joy in the Lord and the rewards that God gives. If we make the things that the world holds up our focus in life, I can guarantee you that it will only lead to misery. Getting ahead. Getting ahead of what? Getting ahead of who? There's always going to be somebody else ahead of you. So that whole idea of getting ahead, that whole idea of looking out for number one, you know, that's a world's statement for you. Making status the thing we seek. Making an impression on others. It's all about show. You know, it's all about appearance. If that becomes our goal, we if we step on others in order to, quote, get ahead. You know, step on others, put down others, just push ourselves ahead. We will lose ourselves. We will be miserable. Jesus puts it this way, what good will it be if a man gains the whole world and yet forfeits his soul? We will end up empty, friendless, and dissatisfied in our lives. And so Jesus' call to discipleship is a call really to a blessed life, to a fulfilled life. And I'm glad that we have Peggy Buck as an example today, who left us to be with the Lord, because there's a person who had great joy, who gave of herself constantly, and is an example of what fulfillment can come from following Jesus. I was on Facebook this week. One of my cousins from out west posted a video, a YouTube video, and her sons are both very athletic, so she posts all the athletic ones. But this one was to do with a high school basketball team in Texas. And this basketball team had they had a manager who was a developmentally challenged young man. His name was Mitchell, and I don't know if anybody's seen this one, and he was their most dedicated fan, this young Mitchell. They had shots of him, it was a CBS News report actually, cheering on his team with his whole heart. And on the very last game of their regular season, the coach had a plan. He had a plan to give Mitchell a lasting memory that he could take with him. And the coach had, first of all, he had Mitchell suit up. He says, Mitchell, suit up. And Mitchell was thrilled. He thought, this is great. I get to sit on the bench in the team uniform. But that wasn't all. What Mitchell didn't know was that the coach planned to put him in to play in the last few minutes of the game. Regardless of what the score was, regardless of where they were at, he said, Mitchell is going to play. And the whole team knew this except Mitchell. So, sure enough, true to his word, it was a very close game. Their team was just 10 points ahead, and coach put Mitchell in. So they did have the potential of even losing that game by doing this, but he put Mitchell in. And the rest of his team just bent over backwards to do everything, and it's gripping watching the little video because they keep passing the ball to Mitchell, and they pass the ball to Mitchell, and throws Taskett, the whole place goes crazy. Wah! He misses. And it was like, wah! And he just missed and missed and missed. And just a few seconds, well, maybe 30 seconds, 20 seconds before the end of the game, he loses the ball. There's a turnaround, and the other team, Franklin High School, gets the ball. But this, at that point, the coach thought, okay, he didn't get that moment, but at least he was out there and with his team and playing to the end. That hopefully will, be a good memory for Mitchell. Something amazing happened at that moment, and they showed in the video the highlight. The other player on the other team had the ball, and he just said, Mitchell. Boom! Passes the ball to Mitchell. Mitchell takes the ball, puts it in the basket, and he scores! The place erupted with cheers. And it's just, the video is just so heart-rending because it was like the whole crowd, all the high school kids just get, boom, swarming down, circling around Mitchell, and just, Mitchell, Mitchell, Mitchell. And they interviewed the kid who gave him the ball. And what he said was the thing that, it's about good sportsmanship, but what he said was, I was raised to treat others as you would want to be treated. And that's why he gave Mitchell the ball. He could have had his moment of glory at that. He was just, he could have done something with that ball. But no, he gave it to Mitchell and passed him the ball, and Mitchell actually scored. So they were 11 points ahead. It wasn't the winning basket or anything, but it was so touching. And I thought, it was like a winning situation for everyone then, for everyone, for both teams.